Hello and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's on the hook today. I have several things I want to talk about, so grab your coffee or your drink of choice and your crochet project or other project craft-wise, and let's talk about some different things today. First of all, I want to talk about what I'm wearing, a finished object, and I want to talk about some works in progress with crochet. I also want to talk about some works in progress with embroidery and a haul of some things that I bought in order to help me with a project that I'm working on. And also there'll be a JoTotes video toward the end, and we give away our crochet magazine for the week, so be sure to stay tuned for that. First of all, what I'm wearing a finished object. This is the Beautiful You sweater that I've been working on for 2 or 3 weeks. Actually had started it last year, and this year I picked it up and decided that I would finish this little summer sweater. I really like it. Of course, I love all of my crocheted sweaters. Now, this is in the light, so you can see through it more than you could just standing around in a room. You probably wouldn't notice my undergarments, but I didn't want to wear a tank top. It's really not designed for that, because let me show you why. I have carved out quite a big neckline here. I really wanted to be sure that it was a summer type sweater. There was plenty of skin up here so you don't get hot. There's nothing up around your neck. There's a little bit of a sleeve, and it's a fitted sleeve, but you know, this particular yarn lends itself to a good stretch. This is a very stretchy sweater. It is not tight, and it breathes pretty well. So I know last week when I talked about this, I mentioned that I was getting low on yarn. So when I finished the sweater and I sewed it together, that would be this seam and this seam under here. It was all sewn together, and I realized that I probably didn't have enough to make a large neckline band. And you know, that worked out very, very well, because I went around the neck twice with single crochet. That was enough to finish it off. That's really all I wanted to do. And then I did decrease on the first row here and here, and also in the center, on each shoulder, and once in the back, and that brought the neckline in. And if you've ever purchased one of my patterns, you'll see that that's usually what I do with the neckline trim. And what that does is it brings the neckline in just a little bit. Now, I did not use a G hook for that. I used an H hook to make this sweater. I didn't feel like a tiny little crochet hook was going to benefit it that much. A G and an H are very close together in size, and so I just used the H hook, and then I did a few decreases around the neckline to make sure that it was tight. And then I did the second row just going around. I think I did actually decrease here, because this is where a sweater tends to buckle, right here at the corners of the neckline. Not so much here and in the back or in the center even, but right here is usually where the neckline will buckle. So I crocheted a decrease here and a decrease here at those 2 points right there. So that would, on the second row, that would really make sure that the neckline did not buckle out. And I was right, it did not, and I put it on and it was fairly beautiful the way it fit me. Now, you might do it differently. You might have 3 rows of neckline trim, and you might decrease all around every time, and you can certainly do that. You can do it however you want, and sometimes I will do a line or two of neckline trim, and then I'll try it on to be sure that it's not buckling, and if it's not, I'll just go ahead and crochet around without any decreases for the following rows. But for this, I was running out of yarn. Look, that's all I had left. I really had enough for probably another row around the neck, but I knew that I wanted to finish the sleeve, and I just did 1 row of single crochet around the edge of each sleeve at the bottom, just to finish it off and to cover up that where the seam line starts right there and right there. I thought it was a nice look just to do a row of single crochet around the bottom of the sleeve. I went to the bottom of the sweater and I crocheted a couple of rows here just to kind of finish off the bottom of the sweater again. Where the seams appear at the sides of the sweater, I really wanted to cover that up at the bottom. So I did a couple of rounds of single crochet. I did not decrease, and I actually used the H hook for that as well. So all in all, I had this much yarn left over after doing those rows for the neckline and the sleeve and bottom trim. However, if you make a bigger sweater than this, or a longer sweater, or make your sleeves longer than this if they're down here, you will need another skein. I used 3 skeins of Beautiful You yarn, and this is what it looks like. It's Beautiful You by Lion Brand in the cayenne color, and on each skein is 326 yards. So I used a little less than 1,000 yards to make this sweater. So you might want to purchase 4 skeins if you're going to make this, just so you'll have plenty to do as much trim as you want, make the sleeves as long as you want. And 1 skein more would be plenty for that. So that'll give you a little bit of a gauge on how much of the Beautiful You yarn to buy. This is a size 2 yarn, and it's all acrylic, 100% acrylic. But I do like the way it feels. It's not scratchy. I thought it might be, but it's not. Now Crystal's going to show you a pattern that I have on my Etsy shop that's similar to this, that you could use in order to make this sweater. Last Monday I said that there were 4 patterns that were very similar to this, in which you crochet the sleeves right into the body of the sweater. And one of those is the Foxy Boxy, and I'll tell you the differences between these two. But if you've already purchased the Foxy Boxy, or you have it in your collection, then you can use it as kind of a guide to make this particular sweater. And these sleeves are, of course, crocheted right into the body of the sweater, if you can see that. And there's not much of a trim. There might be 2 or 3 rows of single crochet here at the bottom. This is done in a double crochet. I crocheted this with a half double crochet. This was done with a J hook. I used an H hook for this sweater. This yarn is also Lion Brand, and it's the jeans yarn. This is the corduroy color. So if you're looking to make one just like this, then that's what you would want to purchase. But this is the Beautiful You by Lion Brand, size 2. This is a size 4. So you can always make those adjustments, but the basic part of the sweater is to crochet the sleeves right into it. And this neckline is not as wide as this neckline. I started my decreasing way over here, and then I decreased on farther, so that it made the neckline quite a bit more open than this box. I called this the Foxy Boxy for one reason, because I had boxed the sweater with a sharp corner there and there, there and there. So that's different. And also the shoulders are quite a bit wider here than they are here. I just have a little bit of a shoulder here, and that's just how it fits on me. There's no definitive shoulder where you might sew the sleeve onto it. The sleeve is crocheted right into the fabric. So I would ask Crystal to come over and model my Foxy Box. So thank you, Crystal. Now on to the works in progress portion of my video. I have 2 works in progress now that I'm working on. I've picked up my black bamboo pop sweater. I'm working on this. Because I'm designing another sweater, I can't actually be on the phone while I'm working on it. So this is just an academic crochet project. We're working from the hem to the underarm, and then we will add the sleeves on to this line by chaining out on both ends and continuing on with that. So this is the front of the sweater, so I'll have to pay attention when I get to the neckline. I'll have to decide where to stop that neckline. I'll probably do it very similarly to this Beautiful You sweater, because this is a summer sweater, and this is really not a winter top. It's just a top to wear maybe under a white jeans jacket, or a jeans jacket, or a nice jacket, but it doesn't have to be warm and wintry. If you want to put a scarf around your neck, you could certainly do that. But I think my design for this is going to be a wide-necked, longer sleeved top, and they'll go a little bit beyond the elbow. So that way you can wear it with a jacket or not. When the weather gets a little bit cool, you can wear it, but it's not going to be hot and up around your neck. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm on my second skein of bamboo pop, so I probably have plenty. I think I have 3 or 4 skeins of this, so I'm in good shape. I'm also making this with the size 7 clover hook, which is 4.5 millimeter, and that is the size I'm making this from. This is a half double crochet stitch that is done in a little bit different fashion. You dig deeper into the opening where you put each stitch. You go below all the threads and you go right above that bottom thread. And I guess at some point I might show you how to do that, but right now I'm just trying to get the sweater finished, and I think I'm going to write a pattern for this, so it'll be a little bit clearer what I'm doing. But that's one of the works in progress that I have going right now. My second work in progress is my white sweater. It's crocheted with comfy cotton, and I have a little bit left to do on the front piece. And if you follow me on Instagram, where you can find me on the Hook Crochet Instagram, very easy to find, and I do post pictures out there of progress that I make on my project. So this is one that I posted a picture on not too long ago on Instagram, but this is what it looks like now. This is the front of the sweater. I did the front first because I wanted to shape the lace at the top, so it's going to be right about there, and then the shoulders are here, so it's going to look like that. It's going to have a lace top all the way to the top. I'm not through crocheting this. I still have a few more lines to go, so I'm going to put it up there right about where it's going to be. It's going to have short sleeves. You can certainly make them as long as you want, but the top of the sweater is lace. And then I've also kind of mimicked that in the body because this is a summer sweater, so I want it to be a little bit loose and airy right through the middle. So I put a little bit more of a solid bottom on this. As I've told you before, the body of the sweater has some treble crochet, some other stitches, and then I'm doing the lace stitch at the top. And I hope this will be nice and cool. Comfy cotton can tend to be heavy, and I've made other things out of it and really didn't enjoy them. I did a couple things that I liked out of comfy cotton, but this is comfy cotton blend. It's half and half, cotton and acrylic. It's a Lion brand yarn, and it's also a size 3. It's not a 4, it's a 3, but it tends to be heavy, so I'm trying to lighten this up by putting plenty of space between the stitches. So that is one of the projects I'm working on, but that is a new pattern, and I'll be putting that out maybe next week or the week after. I'm starting to work on it now, but I have not crocheted the back of the sweater yet. I still have to do that, so that might take me a couple weeks. And I have plenty of comfy cotton here that was in my stash, so I decided to use that for a summer sweater. So I'm working on that. That's my lace summer sweater, and I think I'm calling it Summer Breeze because, you know, it's summertime and you can feel the breeze through the sweater. It's not a tight weave at all. So look forward to that next week or the week after. Hopefully I can do that. I might get a little bit behind on that. It's only June, so I can hopefully release that pattern, you know, later in the summer. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, that's a lot about crochet, and I want to move on to the embroidery section of our show. I picked this up as a craft. Again, I used to crochet all the time, and I used to embroider all the time. And so I've decided that I'm going to put that little piece into my channel, and I've had a lot of people say they really, really liked it. So I'm going to continue. I want to do different kinds of embroidery as well. I'd like to do the freeform embroidery that is not cross stitch, and then I want to do some cross stitch. So I have 2 projects going right now. I did finish a couple last week. On Monday, I showed a framed piece of embroidery, and then on Friday before that, I showed another piece. So you can check those 2 videos out and take a look at the embroidery that I have completed and finished off. Those are called FFOs, which I didn't know what that meant, but that is finally finished objects, or you can call it formally finished objects or fully finished objects. All 3 of those. I've heard people say all 3 of those for that acronym FFO. So in the embroidery world, an FO is when you finish the project, and then an FFO is when you frame it, make it to a pillow, make it into a pillow, or something like that. So this is what I've done so far on my new project. This is the embroidery that I started last week. I haven't gotten very far. I have only done a little bit on this flower, and then I decided I wanted to buy the frame to go with it. I bought 2 skeins of cotton thread in greens, 2 different greens, because I wanted to try them. They're called pearl cotton, and each strand is equal to 2 strands of the DMC regular floss, and I have misplaced those. They'll turn up, but I don't have them right here in front of me, which I'm very disappointed about. I should have those. But anyway, I am working on this. This is going to be red and green for the most part, a little bit of yellow, and then whatever color I want to make the border from. I did buy a frame for that, and I think this is really pretty. This is kind of a shabby chic, kind of a distressed look. That is one of my favorite types of frames, and as you know, that's what I've framed my embroidery in so far. Kind of nailed together, and I like the way that looks. Now I need a mat to go in here around the edge, and then I have bought the self-stick mounting board. It's Yarnology. It's $2.59. I had a coupon, of course, and this is the sticky board that you mount your embroidery on, that you can do it this way. You can also lace your embroidery, and I could show you that some other time. But for a quick frame, you can mount this on the sticky board and then put it in the frame and close it up. That's the fastest way I have found to frame embroidery, and I think it's a great way to do it. You don't have to do that. You can lace your embroidery on the back over some foam core, and I may do that just as a project to show you how that's done. Right now, this is the frame that I picked up for this particular piece, and I think my mat is going to be maybe like a beige or something. Not really bright color. I don't want it to be red. I think that would be too striking. We'll probably stick with beige on that one. But I wanted to show you that because it's part of the haul that I've made. I went out yesterday and did some shopping. I don't usually do that, but I had ordered some floss bobbins from Michael's. And when I was there, I did a little bit of shopping, and I figured that's okay. I don't shop very much because of this COVID thing. I've been kind of holed up at home, and every now and then I'll venture out. But mostly I just order things online. And I do order them from Joannes, from Michael's, and Hobby Lobby. I do that. And if I can't find it there, I'll go on to Amazon and find it. But these are floss bobbins, and I know you've probably seen this before. But these are bobbins that you wind your embroidery floss on, and then you label them at the top. This particular package has a ring, and what you do there is you get all of your DMC or whatever kind of floss you have, you wind it up and label them. And then for a particular project, you will put those bobbins on this big ring, and that way you have all the thread that you need for a particular project in one place. Now I plan to take the DMC floss that I've bought and wind it on bobbins and put it in a box and put it in order by number, and that way I can find the colors that I want. And in particular, that is what I plan to do for a couple other projects that I have in mind. And then when I was at Joannes, which I actually went to 2 places yesterday, or 3. When I was at Joannes, I picked up the DMC color card, and what this is it shows you all the different colors of DMC and the numbers that they are. Let me get this out here where you can see it. Oh, let me open it. It's huge. But what this does is it shows you the color number and a picture of the color. And these are true to color. I put some of mine up there, and they are actually the exact color. So they've done a nice job with this. Of course, this is DMC, and they seem to be a very professional company. They've been around for a long time. They are located in France, but they also have a United States location. And when you order something from DMC, it comes from somewhere here in the United States. It doesn't come from France, but these are actually things that are produced in France. This was $10, $9.99, and when I went to the DMC.com site yesterday, I was just poking around looking to see if I could order some DMC floss, and actually you can. You can pick any color you want and order it. And I think it's 70 cents a skein, which is more than it is when you go to Joann's, Michael's, or Hobby Lobby. So, your best bet is to go there and buy. But if you can't find a color, you can order it from DMC. This is the company that makes the DMC floss. So I went out on the web, and the cost of their color card was the same as it was at Joann's. So I went ahead and picked it up. I thought, why not? I'll just pick it up here, give Joann's the business, and it doesn't cost me anymore. In fact, it would cost to ship it as well if I bought it from DMC.com. So just a little tip, if you're looking for a specific yarn though, or a specific floss, you can find it there on the DMC.com site. Also, while I was at Joann's, I found a little book, and I was just looking for a hardcover book that I can keep up with my projects. Mostly my embroidery and my cross stitch. I'd like to keep them in a book to have for some time later when I might want to go back and see how fast I worked on them, how many times I worked on them, how many stitches there were, how many stitches I did. I would like to keep track of that. So I found this little book, and it says Feeling a Surge of Creativity. This was at Joann's, just on an end cap, and I thought, that is so cute. It was $5.99, and I had a coupon for Joann's, so I used it for this book. But on each page, the pages are lined, and at the bottom is a little drawing of some a thimble and a button and some things like that. So I thought that was really cute. It doesn't take up much room on the page. Some of them are really big, and I thought, I really want more room for me to write on. So I'm going to start this and keep track of some of my embroidery projects. And I thought that was really cute. So I picked it up yesterday, and when I have a coupon, I'm dangerous. I just think, well, that's only half price, or that's 70% off, or 40% off, or whatever it is. All right, so y'all know that my work in progress, my largest work in progress, is the Lost No More, and I'm going to show it this last time. I'm not going to keep showing this to you, but this is a huge project, 66,000 stitches. I know that's a lot, probably more than I can manage. I'm going to try it though, and I haven't made any progress on this. This is the most I've done on this particular project, and you'll find that that happens to you if you have a really big project. Sometimes it's hard to get going on it, and I found that to be true for me. And so I thought, how can I make this more appealing to work on? And I thought, well, I've been on the web and looking at some YouTube videos, and they show how they have their embroidery set up so that they can just walk over and embroider a while, or cross stitch a while. It's mainly cross stitch, and then go back to whatever else they were doing. So I had thought, you know what, I think I could set up a chair in my office and get a little stand and put my cross stitch project on it so that I could take 20 minutes out, walk over, sit down, and everything I need would be right there. I wouldn't have to, I've got it on my desk right now in a bag, and look how unorganized that is. It's not appealing for me to go and get all set up and get it all in my lap and get everything done, and then I can't think when I'm at my desk on this cross stitch project. Sometimes crochet is much easier to do at my desk because a lot of it is just crocheting one stitch over and over again, or doing a pattern repeat. But for cross stitch, it's a little bit different. You do have to think about what you're doing. You do have to follow a pattern. You have to count. So you can't really do that while you're on the phone with somebody or trying to answer email. You just can't do it. So what I did was I looked on the web at some different quilt stands, they call them, or embroidery stands. A wooden stand that will sit on the floor and comes up to you when you're working on it in front of you, just like your grandmother used a quilt stand, if your grandmother did. They were stands that were at the place where they sat, and they would pull the stand up to themselves and be able to stitch on the stand, on the hoop. There was always a big hoop attached to the quilt stand. They called it a quilt stand. And this is where they made the fronts of the quilts. The cross stitchers have discovered that, and they have decided that, you know, they should be able to have the same kind of setup, and they can work faster. You put one hand up above the other and work faster front to back and flip it over and all that, so you can tie off your threads and all that. Makes it very, very quick. So I thought I would set myself up a chair in my office with a quilt stand. So I have to have a quilt stand if I'm going to do that. So when I was at Michael's yesterday, I found a quilt stand, I found an embroidery stand, and I also found a scroll frame. And I think the stand comes with one frame, but this would allow me to have two frames, and I could work on whichever project I wanted to work on. So I thought that was nice. So let me show you how it looks. I haven't put it together yet. Mr. On the Hook is going to have to help me with this, but I could probably do it on my own, but you know, I can get his help if I need it. This is a Loops and Threads scroll frame, and it is a 9" by 18 inches wide, 18 inches wide by 9 inches deep. So I figured that would be good to start out with. I don't think I need anything any wider, and if I do, I can just flip it over on the side and work on it. But this is $17, and if you have a coupon, you can get it. Sometimes you get it for $8, which is cheap, I think, for a wooden scroll frame. It has all the connectors on it. It screws together, so and it's adjustable, so you can unscrew it and screw it. You don't have to have a screwdriver, and I like that about it. So this is their brand, Loops and Threads. I didn't see another brand. That's the only brand I saw. So they must only carry the Loops and Threads. And then I bought a quilt stand. And here's the box. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, but this is what it looks like. It's a stand for the floor. See how it goes under your chair there, and then it's adjustable. The height is adjustable, and then the scroll frame fits onto that, and it's all adjustable here. I think you loosen that up and flip it over if you want to tie off a thread. I'm not really sure how all that works yet. I haven't put it together, obviously. This is called the Stitcher's Wonder Scroll Frame on a Stand. It was $80, but I had a half price coupon, so I paid $40 for this. And I felt like that was a fair price for a full stand made from wood that is adjustable on the sides and the size of the scroll frame. I think it actually has a scroll frame in it, but I bought one just in case it didn't have the scroll frame. I read on one of them that it didn't have the scroll frame, and I don't know if it was this one or not, but I figured I could have two scroll frames, and that way I could change them out as I want to. So this was a very large haul yesterday. I don't usually spend a lot of money on things like this, but I figured it would do me good to have a place where I could go and embroider or do cross stitch, and especially my Lost No More project that I've been working on and off, mostly off because it does require a lot of setup time. So this will eliminate that, and maybe I can get over there and work on it and get finished with that 66,000 stitches that are in that project. Another thing that I did yesterday was to go on the web, and I found the first 35 DMC Floss, the newest colors, 1 to 35 are the numbers, and I found them on a website, and I think it was DMC. I'll let you know when it gets here. I can't remember if that's where I bought it or not. But the DMC site is great for that kind of thing. It has everything you'd ever want in their floss types and numbers. So I decided I would like to have 1 through 35 because everywhere I go, there is no 1 to 35 numbers. Those are all brand new numbers. So I thought, well, I'll get those first because I know that I don't have any duplicates of those. And I'll get those wound on bobbins and put them in my little box, and I'll have those. I also want to find some groups of DMC floss that I can wind on bobbins and kind of get them in a box so that I can go out, and if I see a pattern that I want to make, I will already have enough floss to pick from so that I can start something without having to go to the store and buy more floss. So it's like having a little bit of a stash. And they also call it a stash on YouTube, the girls that do a lot of embroidery and cross stitch. They have stashes, and some of them are magnificent. I mean, I've got great yarn stash, but I don't have a floss stash. And that's not to say I have to have a floss stash, but I do want to have some floss built up so that I can do a pattern if I see one I might want to do. And a lot of them don't come in kits. The more sophisticated patterns just come as a pattern, and they're downloaded, or you can buy them printed, I suppose. But they actually require you to get the fabric and the floss to do the pattern. So they give you all the numbers and everything, but you can also adjust that. When you buy a kit, you can't really do that unless you have your own DMC floss to pull from. So just some ideas about embroidery there, and I'm really enjoying my new craft. Although it's an old craft, I'm enjoying getting back into it just a little bit. But crochet is my first love, and I do have my whips that I'm working on. So don't think I'm not going to be crocheting, because that's my first love. I really do love that. But this has been a fun, kind of a squirrel, but kind of fun too, because I know y'all write me and say you really like the embroidery part of my program as well. Okay, so Jo with Jo for Totes has a brand new video, and I'm going to insert it right here. Now, last week we had a little bit of problem with our audio, and a lot of people pointed that out. I had probably not adjusted my microphone the way I should have when I went to record my video. So the voices were low, and then when Jo came on, it was really loud, and I realized that. I'm working to fix that. I'm not a real techie person, but I'm going to try to make sure that our voices are kind of the same in this particular video. So Jo's video is next, and stay tuned for the giveaway after this.
Hi, it's Jo with Jo for Totes, and I'm on my porch again this afternoon because it just has better lighting out here, and I love to be out here anyway. But today I'm going to show you a bag that's fabric was only decided at the last minute, kind of the last minute, like last week. This person, well, Danielle, who lives in Saskatchewan, Canada, I think I probably pronounced that wrong, wanted a Dragonfly bag, and so I thought I had the fabric that she wanted, but then I found this other beautiful fabric at one of the stores that Jeannie and I visited 2 weeks ago, and I showed her the various fabrics. The one I thought for sure she would pick, but she didn't pick that one. She picked another one, but it was one that I had bought that does have dragonflies on it. So I want to show it to you. So this is a kind of a plum, kind of a very light purple color for the main bag color, as you can see on the back side. But it does have dragonflies. So this is batik fabric, which is not the easiest to sew on, but it has beautiful prints that you can get with this. I'll just go ahead and show you the charm while it's in view right now that I put on the outside zipper. It's got the little lamb on it and the purple bead. And then the side pockets have blue. So blue was her favorite color, but then she chose this kind of a purple color for the main bag. So it has blue for the outside pockets on the edges, and then more blue on the inside. So it has this. I'll show you the back zipper has the same blue fabric as inside of the pockets, and also the same fabric that's inside the pouch. So I just want to show you this medallion. I just think that this is the prettiest medallion I've ever made. So it actually has, if the light will pick it up, it's got 4 crystals on the corners of the little star here, and then a blue rhinestone in the middle, and then some other little beads on the outside that connects the felt medallion to the bag. And then for embroidery, I used a little bullion stitch, which is real simple to do, but I just thought it made such a beautiful medallion. It just sparkles when the light hits it just right with all the crystal that's on it. And then this was a coordinating fabric that I found in a fat quarter that kind of goes with this color, and certainly the motif because it's got dragonflies on it. But I just thought that just turned out so pretty. So on the inside, Danielle wanted just a zipper compartment. So on this zipper compartment, I put a purple that matches, a darker purple that matches the purple on the outside. And then, of course, this little stitch marker, or not stitch marker, this little charm that I put on the zipper pull, and I had a D for Danielle, so I added the D for her name. And then I decided to do something a little fancy with my JoTote trademark that I put on the inside of the bags, and I put some little flowers or some little leaves at the end of that, so that was kind of cute. So, and it has a snap top, and then the binding for the top is the same fabric that I did on the inside of the pouches. And then the bottom, again, I used the duck canvas for the bottom. It makes a real sturdy fabric for the bottom of it. So I hope that Danielle will really enjoy this bag. I know she's waited a long time for it, like everybody is now, and I'm so sorry about that. I've actually started a 2021 list, and it's got 8 people on it right now. So if you're going to request a bag, just be aware that that's probably the time frame we're talking about. So this one goes to Canada, to Danielle, and then there are 2 other bags that I'm going to be making starting this week. One is either a very, very colorful bag that Crystal asked for, and this is her second bag with me, or it may be another bag that somebody has requested that has a matching fabric wristlet that I've not made before, but I love trying new things. And Crystal's bag, when I do make that one, is a bigger bag than normal. So she asked for a 16 by 16 bag. So that'll be interesting to see as well. So I hope y'all have enjoyed seeing this beautiful bag today. I've enjoyed making it. It's just gorgeous. I might have to keep this one. Oh, not really, just kidding. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Okay, it's time for our giveaway. And this week we're giving away the Crochet Magazine. I love this magazine. I've been through it now and I really like what's in here. I always like crochet magazines. Y'all know that about me. I love everything about crochet magazines. Look at this. I saw this and I thought this was really beautiful. Oh, it's so casual and so lacy in the front. A 3/4 sleeve, and she's actually got it over a white collared shirt, and I like that. I like that look for fall. I think that's really beautiful. And it also has a cardigan on the front, and that was the key word for this week, cardigan. If you put that in your comment, then you will be in the running for our giveaway right now. So let's turn the camera to the computer and see who wins the Crochet Magazine this week. Here we are with our camera pointed toward the computer. The URL is here. The word cardigan is there, and we are going to sort on that particular word. So let's get our comments right here and find out how many people are actually in the giveaway. And the number is 293. Thank you for participating. I appreciate that so much. So let's find out from that number of comments who gets the Crochet Magazine this week, who wins. And the winner is Cindy Hansen. Cindy Hansen. She says, I think once a week is plenty, talking about how often I'd like to do my videos. How about Wednesday afternoon? Love the cardigan. All right. Well, Cindy, you have won the Crochet Magazine. Congratulations. Well, congratulations, Cindy Hansen. You have won the Crochet Magazine for the week. And on Monday, I will have another giveaway. But I want to talk to you for a second about my videos. I said that I was going to do them once a week, and I probably will do that starting on Monday. Monday was by far the day of the week when everyone wanted me to produce a video. So I'll be producing a video on Monday. On that day, we'll have a giveaway winner and also announce the giveaway for the next week if there is one. More than likely there will be, so we'll have a giveaway every week, and y'all can participate in that. And I will be out every Monday, hopefully in the morning. I'm not really sure what time of day I can do that, but it will be on Monday. So you will know that my videos come out on Monday. And thank you for your input. I appreciate everyone who said which day of the week they would like to see me do a video. And Monday, again, had the most votes. So I'll be doing that on Monday through the summer, maybe into the fall a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I tried to cover all my bases. I tried not to waste your time. I do like to talk about my crafts, and I hope you've been doing lots of crafting this week. And you can join me on Monday when we'll find out what's on the hook.